Good evening. I want to thank the committee and coach and athletic director Chris Palmer for this prestigious award. I want to congratulate Coach Ted Holtelling and his team for making the NCAA's not an easy feat. Congratulations, Coach. I also want to congratulate the former Hall of Famers here tonight. A lot of them I played against years ago at Quinnipiac. And I want to also congratulate the new inductees. It's my honor to be in your circle. I want to thank my wife, Josephine, for almost 50 years of marriage, who without her, not only my life, but my family's lives as well, would not be what they are today. We love you, Josephine. My family and friends are here today to share in this celebration. Can you please stand up and be recognized? Stand up. I want to give you a little insight on my 15 years of coaching here at UNH. I was the men's basketball coach at Western Connecticut State University for 5 years, and then took North Haven High to the state tournament. The very next day, Coach Vieira approached me in 1980 to ask if I wanted to be the coach of the men's basketball team. But all I needed was to get the approval of Dr. Joe Matnick, the athletic director. An hour later, I was the head basketball coach at UNH. Just like it is today with all the committees, right? The first call I made after, my wife, of course, was to Pete Novak, who I coached at Notre Dame High School with Joe Tonelli. About a month ago, Pete Novak received the highest award possible in his profession. He was inducted into the Gamma Hall of Fame. Congratulations again, Coach No. My second call was to the late Levi Jackson, who was my captain for 3 years at Western. Commitment and unrelenting dedication are qualities needed to succeed. Pete and Levi had both. They accepted the position as my assistant coach, though I forgot to tell them that UNH was presently saddled with a 2-year probation and no NCAA tournament for 2 years. I had a specific vision: create one of the premier Division II programs in the country, win a national tournament, and create a family atmosphere among the basketball team. In order to make my vision come true, we needed to recruit the level of student athlete who had both the ability and the academics to play and graduate college. That was extremely important. New Jersey at the time had no Division II programs. Pete, Levi, and I would go to New Jersey just to watch high school basketball games 3 times a week. We were able to recruit not only great student athletes, but outstanding young men. Some of them are Hall of Famers, some will become Hall of Famers. My assistant coaches over the years, Pete Novak, Levi Jackson, Jimmy Allen, Joe Matthews, were relentless in making sure we reach our potential both in the classroom and on the court. Well over 90% of our players graduated. If you played for me or coached with me, please stand up and be recognized. Come on, guys, come on. They travel far and wide. Well, we started to win and kept winning. 20-game winning seasons became our norm, and we were annually ranked nationally in the top 10. We made numerous NCAAs in those days. Only 4 teams made it in the whole Eastern region. Some of our players were selected to All-American teams. Our home games were on cable TV, and all our games were broadcasted on radio. The 2 local newspapers covered us every game we played. I remember one year we were 18-0, ranked #1 in the East, 2nd in the country, and we just won a close game to remain undefeated. I went home to celebrate with my family. I was upstairs when the phone rang. We were getting a lot of press in those days from TV, radio, and newspapers, but not Sports Illustrated. My wife answered the phone, and she called up to me, "Sports Illustrated is on the phone." I ran down the stairs 3 at a time, thinking our recruiting just got a lot better. I picked up the phone and said, "Hello, this is Coach Grove." The man on the line said, "For $19.99, we will deliver your monthly subscription." What a disappointment. And that's a true story. My brothers, Mark and the late Dennis Grove, and his wife, Beverly, and Mark's wife, which at the time was his girlfriend, Audrey, very rarely missed a game either home or away in 15 years, as well as my father-in-law, the late Frank Durazzo. Local talented student basketball players started to take notice of us, and recruitment of local talent started to happen. My own sons, Michael and Dan Grove, were my toughest local recruits to convince to come to UNH. They both played at Hamden High and were sought after by other universities. In 1988, I was voted Kodak Coach of the Year, Division II. My 15 years of head coach were the most rewarding time in my coaching career, not just for the love of the sport, but in seeing my players develop into successful men in their communities. It reinforced the lessons that I taught went beyond basketball skills and strategy. They included desire, determination, dedication, which my players were able to use and carry with them to real life and into the future. That was the most rewarding for me. I want to give you a few flashbacks for the players who are here today. First has to be first-team All-American, Hall of Fame inductee, Division II Player of the Year, MVP of the College Division I and Division II All-Star Game, Superb Herb. He would score 30 points, have 15 rebounds, a bunch of assists and blocks, and you would never know it because he really missed a shot or took a bad shot. Ken Coleman, KC, had a 4-point play late in the championship win at Sacred Heart tournament to give UNH our first major championship. Hensey Watt, who single-handedly beat our arch rival Quinnipiac. After the game, Coach Burkhan said he was the toughest player he ever saw. Mike Grove, leading the country in three-point scoring for 3 years, the whole country. Dan Grove, as a freshman, coming off the bench, buried 3 straight three-pointers versus University of Bridgeport to win the prestigious East Stroudsburg tournament, and they never asked us back. Bill Jeffers, Dollar Bill. Well, right now, Dollar Bill's son is one of the top basketball players in the country. Right now. Congratulations. Dollar Bill, whenever we needed a basket, we isolated him for a score, and he always delivered. Fred Hill. In 1980 to 1983, Fred played for me. And then he said, "Coach, I graduated." I said, "Fred, you're going nowhere. You're going to be assistant coach." So this is a funny story. And I was a very calm coach, very, very calm. Never screamed, never yelled, very, very calm. Demanding, but never calm. And Fred called up my wife one day and said, "Mrs. Grove, make sure he has no coffee. But Freddie, he not only played for me 3 years, coached with me for 3 years, and then he went on to do better and bigger things. But what a player he was. And then Kenny Sinclair. When I got the job, the next hour after Pete and Levi were on board, I called around to see who's the best player around that we could get. And everyone said, there's a point guard in Waterbury, Kenny Sinclair. I said, okay, done. I went up, offered him a scholarship, he accepted. And this 18-year-old freshman single-handedly beat time and time again, 4 times in 1 year, Tommy Sullivan and New Hampshire College. Tommy Sullivan was the coach. 4 times he hit the winning shot at the buzzer to beat him. The last time was in our gym. Tommy Sullivan, true story, came into my office and put a fist right through my glass. And he said, a partition, and he said, I want you to remember this. He said, Kenny Sinclair beat us all the time. And Kenny just told me he met Tommy Sullivan about 10 years ago, and he just totally ignored him. He wanted no part, no part. Being inducted as a player into Quinnipiac University Hall of Fame was a great honor for me. Being inducted as a coach into UNH Hall of Fame is a tribute to all the hard work that my assistants, Pete, Levi, Jimmy, and Joe did every day, as well as all the great players that I was fortunate to coach. Thank you again. I will cherish this honor forever. Thank you.